I'm calling Silicon entrepreneurs to the stage. Mr. Tilemakos Matiakis from Kenotom, Mr. Nikos Ketopoulos from EdaLogic, and where is Dimitris Garifalou? I just saw him. he was here a moment ago. Okay, we have to start. We're a bit late, but I hope Dimitris can join us. What did he do? Is this a case of stage fright, maybe? Πού είσαι, ρε Δημήτρη? Don't worry about slides. We can start. No, we're okay with chairs. So again, Dimitris Garifalou from EdaLogic, Tilemakos Matiakis from Kenotom, and Nikos Ketopoulos from SciHi Technologies. So this panel is dedicated to discussing a bit around the ideas and the opportunities that are being created for silicon entrepreneurship. Some of you may be aspiring entrepreneurs, others may be interested to join companies that are being founded right now and will be tasked with designing the next wave of semiconductors. What we need to know is, among other things, there are some support measures that are being that are being offered to us through the European Union and through the Greek state, if you can believe it. And those support measures are facilitating the creation of semiconductor value, which means chip designs, IP, design tools, with the purpose of making Europe more self-sustainable in terms of semiconductors. So we need to manufacture more chips in Europe, and our vision here through HETIA and the initiatives that I mentioned that are being spearheaded at the level of the European Union is to do more of that out of Greece as well. So on that topic, a quick warm-up round. If you can please describe what your company does very briefly and who you're doing it for. So Nikos, starting with you.
Hi. First of all,
You have to use the mic.
hello. First of all, I would like to thank Sotiris and the entire HETIA organization to invite us today and discuss about CHIPS Act and its actions for the ecosystem in Greece. So we are Silicon Highway Technologies, or SciHi, a Greek startup located here in Volos. And we are working on EDA, electronic design automation. That means that we develop software tools that are used in the design of a circuit, the entire flow. And our main research and development actions focuses on solving niche problems and modern problems on the procedure of designing a circuit. And we expand our, we want to expand our activities to space electronics and also more exotic design frameworks such as three-dimensional circuits.
And your customers being chip design?
Yes.
Okay. Tilemakos, you spoke earlier, but if you can quickly remind us what Kenotom does.
Yes, let me repeat some things. I'm the technical director in Kenotom, and in Kenotom we are engineering services provider for developing embedded systems, which means that we undertake customer projects based on their requirements to develop some specific, develop and validate some specific embedded system. We originate from the automotive industry, and we are still working very closely to the automotive industry. We work with companies that develop the electronic control units, as the embedded systems are called in the automotive industry. Most of our customers are in are international companies that you can find in the European market, and they are the companies that practically produce all the electronics that you see in the vehicle.
And Dimitris, Edalogic is a new startup.
Yes,
Can you briefly describe what you guys do?
Yes, sure. Thank you, first of all, for Hetia and the entire organization committee for inviting Edalogic to this panel. So as Sotiris mentioned, we are a new established company founded in 2023 by a group of university professors, researchers, along with executives with business and policy-making experience. And the company focuses on the electronic design automation domain, which, as Nikos mentioned, is about developing software to design and especially analyze integrated circuits. And more specifically, we specialize in developing cutting-edge EDA tools for timing, power, and reliability analysis using proprietary algorithms and state-of-the-art, both physics-based and AI-driven methodologies. So our main solution is called the Atlas platform, which is composed of two distinct, it is actually for full-scale multi-physics analysis of digital ICs, and it consists of two tools. The first one is NEO, which is a die-centric power, electromigration, and tire drop analysis tool. And the second one is called Helios, which is a system-centric electrothermal analysis tool. And we are trying to specifically design those tools for advanced technology nodes and emerging technologies like 3D ICs, which they may offer performance potential but cause significant issues like excessive heat, tire drop, and thermal migration, and also they cause the need to simulate huge and large models. So this is what we are doing. Our primary goal is to provide a comprehensive platform for reliability analysis, but we also aim to cover the entire flow. And as for my role, I'm leading the research and development team, while I'm also responsible for innovation and the roadmap of the product.
Okay, brilliant. So reminding everybody, the EU Chips Act aims to boost Europe's sustainability in terms of manufacturing capacity and also foster innovation. Also, we aim to reduce our reliance on foreign suppliers towards the East. Now, to each of you, how does everybody find themselves and your companies in serving this initiative under the EU Chips Act, and specifically to Edalogic? No, I'm sorry. Yeah, let's start with Edalogic. You spoke last, Dimitris. Among other things you can expect, there is an intention, it's not a guarantee, but there's an intention for new forms of funding to flow into startups like yours. How can you use that funding, and why do you think you deserve that funding in the first place? What is the challenge that you're solving that maps into the strategy of EU chips?
Okay, so I believe that an integral part of the IC industry is EDA. And it is well known that the EDA sector is dominated by US companies. And it is nearly impossible to design modern chips without relying on the US providers like Synopsys, Cadence, and Siemens. So in order for the EU to secure an independent role in the semiconductor industry, Europe must establish a European-only design flow. This is what we believe, especially considering the recent semiconductor shortages that emphasize the need to reduce reliance on foreign suppliers. And moreover, sophisticated EDA tools will be increasingly essential due to the rising demand for advanced technologies and the adoption of emerging architectures like 3D packaging. So I believe that Edalogic is a good candidate for the CHIPS Act due to its strategic focus on developing innovative EDA tools that address crucial aspects of the design flow, like timing analysis reliability analysis and aiming to cover the entire flow.
Having been an entrepreneur in the area of EDA myself, I definitely concur with your suggestion that Europe needs to invest more in developing its own EDA tools. I guess going to Nikos, by the same token, SciHy can offer some tools for that presumed Europe-based tool chain. So is this what you see yourselves doing? And maybe more aggressively, like looking at what's already out there in terms of offerings from the companies that Dimitris mentioned. Is it possible to have something which is homegrown here that can compete head-on with the design tool suites of the leaders in the industry?
Okay, we can succeed on that. We have a very good mass of people here in Greece with a high level of expertise. And of course, we need help from many actions, such as CHIPS Act, that will help us to be stabilized and find more customers to use our tools and evaluate them, and also provide new solutions out there. Because as Dimitris said previously, there are many companies, there are the big three players out there that take the entire pie, actually, 98 or something like that percentage. So we have the strength to solve niche problems and modern problems that exist out there, and they cannot provide solutions because they don't gain much money on that.
Telemachos, I was going to ask you how your company is affected or could be affected by those initiatives that are being sponsored and or funded by the EU CHIPS Act. But I would add to this question, so this is my first question, but I would add to that question, can your company, can Kenotom, be an instigator for new ideas coming from design tool companies? So in other words, would you prescribe like new solutions that you need in your line of work that you cannot find in commercially available software tools out there, and that can help like startups like SciHy or EDA Logic develop something which is purpose-built for you, but can also have access to a broader market?
Okay, we'll start from the second question concerning since we develop embedded systems, we are the users of ASICs that are produced. We do not design and develop the ASICs on ourselves. Therefore, of course, we have a lot of ideas about tools that we need for our work, but they still focus on embedded systems and rather not on the design of the ASICs. We do have some small projects, let's say, in this direction, but it's definitely not our key competence. On the other side, if the whole situation will affect us, we see a great opportunity in the CHIPS Act. Of course, in order to be able to develop ASICs for some purpose, for some application, and that's where we can help, first of all, in order to define the specifications that you need, for example, in an automotive application. On the other hand, there are a lot of funds that will go into the direction of developing some new ASICs, and we can definitely there contribute into defining projects that will demonstrate all the technology and that will bring a more complete solution to the market rather than an ASIC itself. And through the whole ecosystem that should be created based on the CHIPS Act, we see a lot of benefits, and we definitely see ourselves as a part of this ecosystem.
Mm-hmm. Do you see Kenotom in a unique position maybe to like I said, can you guys be an instigator? Can you be a bearer of ideas for instance, for ASICs or for semiconductor solutions that are missing in the market right now? And you would be welcoming those chips being designed by forces that are based here.
Yes, I believe so. I mean, we are the link from the application to the ASIC production. Since we work for an application, a complete system, we know what the problems is, what are the challenges. We have ideas about the future trends and where shall we move? And of course, it's always the trend to try to integrate more things in an ASIC so as to be more efficient and also in the terms of energy consumption, but also you can compute more things and optimize a lot of processes. We can definitely contribute into these directions, into giving directions and specifications for the ASICs that should be developed in the future.
I think we would all welcome that, and we do need system integrators and embedded system designers in the ecosystem. I think one of the possible criticisms for what has been happening in Greece in terms of innovation, either in research institutes or even in startup companies, is obviously we cannot cover the entire spectrum. There are people that are innovating in a very specific niche area. RF design is one of those areas. We saw some presentations earlier today. Now we have embedded systems for automotive. We have EDA tool startups that are focusing on specific problems that are affecting the next wave of semiconductors, like 3D chips, but we don't have the in-between. So I think putting together companies that are consumers of semiconductors and companies that can help design semiconductors is essential. In terms of finding our own niches, and not just niches, but in terms of finding trends that can help everybody thrive. So in that respect, going to you, Nikos, what's your biggest dream untold for the future, and how do you see and where do you see SciHy really finding its sweet spot? I won't call it a niche, because I'm hoping for you guys to hit a big market opportunity, but what's your biggest aspiration? What do you intend for the world to do once you deliver what you're about to deliver?
Actually, we are a very small and new company, so I think the best dream actually is to achieve to survive. So we want to establish collaborations with companies either in Greece or the greater area of Greece, but also worldwide. And of course, becoming players of this beautiful game of creating a system by providing our tools, our EDA tools that are very important in the entire stack, in the entire chip design process. We believe that we can add value and bring new and fresh air in this procedure.
And I will ask you in a moment to be more specific, give us a technical, we have an audience of engineers here, so I think we can go a bit deeper and understand what you intend to bring, which is not there yet, or what you intend to improve, ideally by 10-fold or 100-fold. But I will come to you in a moment, give you a moment to think about this, and basically addressing a similar question to Dimitris here. So what's your ideal dream future with respect to the plans of your company, of EdaLogic? And can you kind of give us a picture of what you see happening down the line, which will be impressive for the world that is expecting from you to deliver what you're about to deliver?
I believe our plans and priorities are in line with the plans and priorities of the CHIPS Act. As I mentioned, our vision is to create a full design flow, a full EDA design flow for the semiconductor industry that would guarantee European self-sufficiency, right? Mm-hmm. So this would protect the European semiconductor ecosystem from potential business and political maybe disruptions, supporting the goals of the CHIPS Act. So we believe that the success of the Act is crucial for our efforts, and this is because it would cause an anticipated growth in chip design and manufacturing that will create new opportunities for collaboration and innovation within the European semiconductor landscape. So we expect to establish viable corporate relationships that will enhance our access to the European design ecosystem, and also accelerating our plans and enabling us to achieve our corporate goals. And also this act will also provide financial incentives to our IC design collaborators to collaborate with us, expanding our market reach and customer base.
But I will not spare you from my follow-up question in a moment, which is specifying technically what do you mean, for instance, by a complete design flow and how you intend to deliver it. But that's coming up in a minute.
Sure.
So back to Nikos, have you thought what your specific kind of innovation and increment, revolutionary increment is going to be?
Well, I would say that we are more customer-oriented, so we want the feedback from the customers, and we want to collaborate with them on that. But our main focus is to handle very, very large circuits right now, the upcoming era. And also, as I said previously, we want to aim to new technologies such as 3D ICs. So as for the technical perspective, we want to solve the partitioning problem and the power problem that some previous speakers said that we will have in the future.
Okay, so as the semiconductor world is designing things in the third dimension, you guys intend to be an integral tool that helps them do that in an optimized manner.
Yes.
And removing some of the manual work that's, I know, is still required for partitioning.
Indeed.
Okay. Dilemma, are you hopeful that the Greek scene, you showed us earlier in your career day presentation that you have a wide range of collaborations with research institutions here in Greece, so you're trying to draw from the best with respect to like research results or like commissioning your own work, I assume, with some of those institutions. So are you hopeful that Greece can generate those like revolutionary new ideas and improvements in semiconductor design and electronics and embedded system integration?
Well, for sure there is a gap always between research and research projects and the applications. And we run quite a lot of funded projects, and nevertheless we see that for us it's also hard to join, to bring this technology from the research projects due to the real application world. Nevertheless, of course, we believe that this is possible, and you need companies that stay in the middle, that focus a little bit on the application side, but still have the R&D mentality that so as to also invest a little bit in not in the fundamental research, but in technology research, new technologies. On our side, we try to develop also some things that will be the future also of Kenotom, because things are quite dynamically. For example, we try to develop a battery management system because everything is going electrically right now, and we have done some research together with the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki, where we try to integrate modern methodologies in the direction of calculating or modeling the state of health of the battery in a model that will be able to run on embedded systems, things like this. If it will succeed in the end, I don't know. As I said, I'm optimistic. We have to be optimistic, but it's always hard to go from research to mass production, let's say.
Yeah, definitely. So back to you, Dimitris. You said full design flow. There are some elements in that design flow, for instance, gate-level synthesis, right? That the leaders in EDA have invested many, many years or decades of evolution. So how can you guys replicate that and bring your own design flow?
Okay, so this is actually a great question because it is not that easy to build your own design flow, right? But what I was trying to say that there is a need for the European Union to invest in this. There should be European-only design flows in order to get rid of the need to rely on foreign suppliers. So while our first, our first goal is to develop EDA tools for analysis, so we focus on timing analysis, power, and reliability, and especially in advanced 3D geometries like Nico said, where we have chips vertically stacked, etc., and you have excessive heat and electromigration and this effect. So this is our primary goal, but why not we want to investigate if we can also focus on the synthesis tool or build our own place and route tool. So this is our vision, right? This is where we are right now.
Okay, so taking a cue from your last comment, I'm going to feed you guys for the last round of questions. So it's actually one question for the same question for everyone, which is in terms of identifying the problems that need solving, like Dimitris just said, he mentioned some specific examples. What's your thought process? How do you exactly identify those problems? What do you do practically? Well, speaking to customers is an easy question, is an easy answer to that, but I'm interested in what you've done over the years or more recently to really have the pulse of your market and be able to design in your lab something which you know will have a need and will strike a sensitive nerve with your clients. So, Nikos?
So typically, we start from the research. So the first thing and easier for us to do is to read papers, patents, and stuff like that. But bringing, as Telemachos said, the research to a product, this is a kind of different. The big players, the big companies out there have solved many problems that in academia or research does not have already published. So there have many problems inside their walls, let's say. So you have to put your power there to become actually, to build a relationship with them and bring their problems to you. So we put as much effort as we can put on that to discuss with the customers, to learn from the customers what are their problems, and we actually build a solution together.
Yeah. So part of what we consider research and development is, in essence, marketing, right? Yeah. Do you agree with that, Telemachos? Is this how you view things as well?
Yes, definitely, and especially for us where we target the real market. I mean, in order to define the future directions, we have to listen to the market. We have to do a lot of discussions with people, because many times where the technology will go, it's not a matter if it's feasible or not in terms of technology. It's also a matter of it's economically feasible. If, for example, if we see the electrification that's now happening with the vehicle, it's not going that well, although that suddenly some years ago everybody just believed that all the vehicles will be electrified because there were many problems like where can you find the lithium to create the batteries? Batteries currently are mainly produced in China, and the situation in the political situation affect this a lot? Or how much does this cost, and will this be cost effective? Will the consumer buy something that costs in the end 30% more for the same use? It's always things like this that not always have to do with the technology. Of course, the technology is always important, and the way we try to define the direction is, of course, through reading of magazines, going to conferences, reading papers, and a lot of discussions with people and decision makers, let's say. We always try to find contacts with decision makers and discuss with them, get their opinion, because usually those are the people that will define the directions in any case.
And I will give you an extreme example of customer focus, which is coming directly from the EDA industry. It has to do with a company that's no longer in business. They were acquired by a larger company. It's not my company, this is someone else. And what they did when they were starting to develop their tool suite, like they had like you're aspiring, Dimitris, they had a full design flow that was competing head-on with the incumbents of that time, Synopsys and Cadence. So what they did is they found their primary customer, a semiconductor company in Silicon Valley. They brought their entire team with workstations at the lobby of the company, of their client, the lobby. There was no other space, so they had to set themselves up in the reception area in the lobby. And they worked there for months in order to help the customer go to tape out with their still early in the tooth software solution. I consider this an extreme case of customer focus and really building the product to the customer specification. And eventually they made it. They were very, very competitive. And one of the majors had to just go out and acquire them because they were getting too strong with like their competitive tool flow. So is this something you're prepared to do if that's what it takes? Go set up camp at the reception of one of your big clients?
Yeah, I believe sometimes this is what it must happen. And you have to survive this situation, right? Because you have to collaborate with a huge design house that is interesting to your technology, but then you have to go to their place and put many of your resources. So you should be in close with such partners and design companies and test your products and give your resources and spend some time and fix problems. Because, as Nikos said, rising from the university, we have the expertise to do research and we have several patents and awards, but when you have to go to the market, you have the challenge to go solve real problems along with the customer, and which draws many resources of yours. So I believe this is the typical way to go, and if you can survive this is a good thing, right?
Okay, thank you guys very much. I hope everybody enjoyed this panel. This is concluding our programming for the conference, for the ETCI conference. We'll now have closing remarks by Nestor. Thank you again. Thank you, my panelists. Keep innovating.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sotiris.